Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Match Betting Chronicles. Okay, so today I'm going to do a different kind of video, and it's the preparation for correct score Dutching today. I'm just going to go through the games that I'm profiling, and I start with looking at the fixtures today. Now, because I've got children and we do plan to do a lot of stuff today, I can only trade the late games, so 7:45 p.m. would be the earliest. So I'm looking for the sort of 7:45 p.m. and 8 p.m. kickoffs from games in the sort of main leagues, really. Purely because I don't know too much about other leagues like the Dutch league. So first of all, I'm going to look at the fixtures, and Barcelona are playing Cadiz, so I could look at this one, but straight away I'm pretty much going to rule this one out. I will look at it with you guys in this video, but for me, my first thoughts is Barcelona at home. I can't tell if they're going to win 1 or 2-0 or thrash Cadiz, and that is a problem, because on the correct score market, if it goes beyond sort of 3-0, you're looking at any other home win, and I'm pretty sure the odds are going to be quite short on Barcelona. Okay, so moving on, there's no late game in the German league, and in the Italian league there's Roma versus Verona, and straight away I can see that's probably quite a nice game for me to get on. And in the French league, you got Toulouse, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, versus Marseille. And again, first thoughts is Toulouse seem to be involved in some very, very heavy scoring games this season. And they're up against Marseille, who are doing very well at the moment, and decent defence. So yeah, I'm not sure whether it's wise to be trading this one, but I will have a look and see if perhaps the defence of Marseille can repel the sort of high scoring goals, really. Okay, so first of all, we go to we'll talk about Barcelona. Okay, so first thing to do is to look at the home and away table, and so you can see straight away, but Barcelona are playing at home. In the league they've only conceded 1 goal at home all season. So wow, what a defense that is. So profiling this match, I'm not expecting Cadiz to get a goal. Looking at their away form, so they've only scored 6. So basically, you've got the worst away attack versus the best home defense. So it's going to be quite surprising if Cadiz get a goal, but as you know, anything can happen in football. So we probably need to make sure the 1-0 is covered. Last year they actually did beat Barcelona 1-0 away. But yeah, certainly not expecting 2 goals from Cadiz based on that. Barcelona scored 22 goals at home, and if I recall, there's been a lot of 1-0s, but they have also been involved in some high scoring ones. So if I jump on to Betfair correct score, and yeah, I've already had a look at this. So I'll just talk you through this. So I haven't even covered the 1-0 at the moment to Cadiz. But if we don't know if this game is going to be sort of 1-0 or 4-0. That's the problem. And hold on. I think, let me have a look at this as well. Look, this is earlier in the year, so October. But Barcelona played Cadiz away from home, 4-0 away from home. So, looking at some of their results recently, at home in the league, look, they get quite a few 1-0s, but then they got 3-0. You don't know what they're going to do. It's better to look at some more recent matches. Okay, so this is the results for Barcelona. Okay, so they've beaten Sevilla 3-0. They've only beaten Real Sociedad 1-0. Getafe 1-0. And, we got 1-1 there. So, yeah, recently they seem to, have a lot of just scoring a 1 at home. But, yeah, they do, every now and again get 3 or 4. Look at that. 4-0 against Bilbao. So, it's a hard one to profile, this, isn't it? Pretty sure Barcelona are going to win, but as you can see, if I cover 1-0, 1-1, 2-0, 2-1, 3-0, and look at that, the odds on any other home win, just 3.95, very, very short. And I'm now risking £50 just to win 13, and that's just not good enough. So to increase that, I could do away with the 1-1 perhaps, but I've only got £4.22 on that. So if I remove 1-1, redo the stake, £50, and that doesn't improve things a whole lot. Now I'm making £19 profit, but if Cadiz get a goal, I'm sort of in trouble. It doesn't look like they will get a goal, so I could also do away with a 2-1. And now the profit starts to increase, but it's just too much of a risk because, if Cadiz do get a goal, we're still expecting Barcelona to win, but then it could be 2-1 or 3-1, and I haven't got that covered. So this is a big problem. On the plus side, it wouldn't cost much to cover 1-0 to Cadiz. Just £1, and you've got a scratch trade if that happens. 2-0, could put £1 in and good profit on that. But yeah, the risk is on the Barcelona win. So you just don't know if they're going to thrash Cadiz or just do a 1-0. And there's just too much risk if Cadiz do get a goal. So I can't justify doing a correct score Dutching on this match tonight. So I'm going to leave that one. Okay. So the next one we can look at is Verona. Roma versus Verona. Okay, let's have a look at this. So first of all, we'll go into the home and away form. Right, so Roma are at home, and straight away I'm looking at they've got the best defence at home. They've only conceded 5, and they're quite tight with the goals as well. So only 12 goals scored, which tells you they've probably been winning sort of 1-0 or 2-0s. And then you got Verona, who they've only scored 6 away from home. So that's that's joint worst in the league with some of the other teams like Fiorentina, Spezia, for example. And they've scored 15 away from home. So that's not too bad. But recently, the problem is they have improved recently. I think they've had a new manager and results have definitely been improving. But if I look at some of their past results, so this is Verona, and I want to look at the away results. 1-1 against Udinese recently. Only 1-0 loss to Inter Milan. 1-1 against Torino. 2-0 loss to Monza, but Monza have been doing very well. Yeah, so they don't seem to be shipping more than 2 goals when they play away. It's normally just the 1, actually. So I'm looking at probably, Roma don't score many, Verona don't concede too many. I'm probably looking at a maximum of 2-1 on both sides. Let's check Roma. Okay, well, let's go back to the top. So we're looking at Roma at home. So 2-0 versus Empoli. 2-0 against Fiorentina. 1-0 Genoa. Although that's not in the league, that's the cup. 1-0 versus Bologna. I can ignore these. These are friendly matches. Okay. 1-1 versus Torino. A 1-0 loss to Lazio. Oh, they beat Verona 3-1 away, but that was much earlier in the season. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, Roma, I don't think they've scored. If I keep going, I don't even think they've scored 3 at home in the league. This is Europa League, but yeah, it doesn't look like in the league. Roma, oh, tell a lie, look at that, 3-0 against Monza in August. So yeah, that looks like a one-off. So most of the time it's been 1 or 2. So yeah, I'm probably not going to cover anything past 2-1 on this. I can also look at this resource, and it's telling me that there should be a goal in this match. This sheet is saying 100% of a goal. This is just based on the stats. That doesn't mean there definitely will be, of course. It's predicting an 82% chance that there's going to be above 1.5 goals, and that drops to 19% for 2.5. So yeah, I'm probably looking at 2-1 maximum here. First half goal chance based on the last sort of eight matches, and it's 75%. So yeah, I could get a goal in the first half. So yeah, based on this, I'll probably I might not cover the 0-0, but I do know that sort of Mourinho is quite defensive, so I might put a half stake on Roma. Okay, let's go back to this game. If I jump on the Betfair, let's just have a play and see how this looks. Okay, look at that. 1-0, only odds of 6. That's very, very short. So, yeah, the market is expecting this to be a defensive game, it looks like. I need to cover the 1-0. Probably need to cover 1-1. 1-0 to Verona, most definitely. 2-1 to be safe. 2-0 Roma. 2-1 Roma. So we got 6 score lines there. If I put a £50 stake, and it's quite low profit really on this score lines, risking £50 for the chance of 30. But in all honesty, I might you know, if there's one or two early goals and I've got to take some action, I'm going to have to spend more on the other score lines. It becomes a problem. I could, if I wanted to be totally safe on a shock result, Verona winning 2-0 is odds of 42, so just put a £1 in there, so the loss is not too bad. And yeah, 3-1 to Roma. I don't think I need to worry about it doesn't look like I need to worry about the freeze yet. But if there's a slow start and these odds really increase, I could put £1 or £2 on to be safe. So yeah, I do need to think about this. Maybe I could lose the 1-1 if I've got both of the 2-1s covered and 2-0 covered on Roma. So I could think about doing that. I'll lose that 1-1 and put £50 again. Lose the 2-0 because I only need one on that. Let's have a look. Okay, so now the profit is quite decent if I'm losing 1-1, and it does finish around my target scoreline of 2-0. I do think it's going to be 1 or 2-0, so probably want to put a few more pounds on the 1 and the 2. But do I need to be safe with the 0-0? I could put a half stake on that, maybe just £5. Oh, that's probably too much. So maybe £3 on the 0-0. So that if it does finish 0-0, I'm only losing sort of half my stake, and I'm still keeping it around a decent profit. So this is something that I might go with. Still need to think about it a bit more, but based on the initial profile, that looks pretty good. And the last game we need to look at is the French one, Toulouse versus Marseille. So with this one, first of all, let's just have a look at the home and away. Where are they? So Toulouse do quite well at home. 23 goals scored, and they've conceded 17. So yeah, not a tight defence by any stretch of the imagination. But it's not like some of the relegation strugglers. It's not that bad. But then they are playing Marseille, who away are top. They're in top form. 22 goals scored and only 7 conceded. So although Toulouse do score a lot of goals, it may be that Marseille can repel their attack. So I might look at doing this game. Maybe covering, some low score lines, but just staking a couple of quid on some of the higher score lines just in case Toulouse have one of their good games. Okay, let me see if I can look at some of the previous results from these teams. So Toulouse at home, they've done a 3-1 against Rennes, 3-1 against Reims. So you can see they score a lot of goals at home. Troyes 4-1. Wow. Just a 2-0 against Ajaccio. A 1-1 against this team. 2-0. They're doing very well at home, it looks like recently. Really well. 3-2 against Angus. So yeah, there's some big scores on them. So it might be a bit dangerous to trade this. Let me just look at Marseille away from home now. So 2-0, kept a clean sheet. 2-0 against Nantes. Troyes, another 2-0. So recently, that's what I'm saying, they're in good form recently. Tight defence. That was in the cup, another 2-0. 2-1 against Montpellier. And look at this one. 6-1. They're at home though here, but they're playing Toulouse again today, and they've beaten in the reverse fixture 6-1. So yeah, a little bit scary. And this one, they've scored 3 away from home and conceded 2, but it was against Monaco, who are very decent at the moment as well, and score a lot of goals. That's a bit worrying. Conceded 2 against Strasbourg, but again, this is in October, and more recently, Marseille have improved a lot, and they've started to challenge for the title. Another thing I've looked at is the first half table, and Marseille have only been losing once all season at the halftime break. So that's hopefully something that gives me a little bit more confidence that they won't, I can get through the first half without a goal from Toulouse, and then I'll be in a pretty good position if that happens, as long as Marseille don't score too many, of course. Okay, let's look at what the spreadsheet says. Predicting 75% chance of a first half goal, and yeah, it does think that there's going to be 100% chance of there being at least 2 goals in the match. Good chance, 63% of over 2.5. 44% chance of 3 points. Wow. So it's a pretty hard one to call this, and I might need to have a look on Betfair and see what I can realistically cover, and see if it's possible to cover some low score lines and some high score lines and still be making a decent risk to reward ratio, basically. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. I hope you found this video useful, and that's just a little insight into how I profile some of the games that I do. Like I said, because I've got children, I can only really look at these 3 games today because of the late kickoffs. There's a lot of games on a Sunday, and there's probably a lot of better games that I could be doing earlier in the day, but these are the only ones that I can realistically do. I've said it earlier, I'm definitely not doing Barcelona versus Cadiz. Toulouse versus Marseille, I'm unsure about. I'm going to have to play around with the correct scores on Betfair. But I will be doing Roma versus Verona today. Okay, guys, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.